Hello YouTube, Glenn Roberts here. So welcome to the channel, another video for the fans. So today is week 1, day 2. So it's Tuesday, March the 4th, 2025. So yeah, going to head down to the gym shortly. Going to start off with some leg curls. And then after that I'm going to do wide grip deficit deadlifts and on a stiff bar as well. So I'm really trying to make the deadlifts as hard as I possibly can. And yeah, 3 sets of 4 on that, and then safety bar Good Mornings for assistance, and then some Pulldowns and some rows, and then some biceps and some forearms and some grip. So yeah, hopefully have a good session and hopefully get some decent numbers on the deadlift. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what I can do. So yeah, enjoy the video. Okay, so starting off with leg curls. Yes, they are ridiculously easy, but that's kind of like the point at the moment. So this is just an extension of the movement prep that I do. So just 2 sets of 20 really. It's basically 2 sets of 10 to 20. So when I can do 20, then I increase the weight. And 7.5 was no problem. So this is just to like pre-fatigue the hamstrings a little bit before deadlifts. And this is after like doing 5 minutes on the bike for warm up. And then 30-second plank, some bird dogs, a few movement preps to warm up the glutes and a few other bits. There's an exercise called inchworm, that's quite good as well. Google it or look it up on YouTube if you're not sure what it is. That's something I like to do as well before I start deadlifts. There's loads of different movement preps you can do. I don't usually film movement preps because not that many people are interested in it, but I just thought I'd go over a couple the last few days because I have had some people ask. So moving on now, stiff bar wide grip deficit deadlift. So this really makes the deadlift much harder. Using a stiff bar just by itself makes it slightly harder, but standing on a 2 each deficit makes it a lot harder, and then using a wide grip like what I'm doing makes it even harder again. So this is a really hard variation of the deadlift. Just using straps because this is just about moving the weight really. This is not a grip exercise. So for it to be a true snatch grip deadlift, my hands would have to be right to the end of the bar. But notice my hands are not quite to the end, but they are outside the rings. So that's how you know that it's a wide grip. And believe me, it does make all the difference. So yeah, just warming up at 140 now. So you may notice that I roll the bar towards me. I don't do that with regular deadlifts, but my flexibility isn't great. And I like the bar to touch my legs, and that's the only way. I do find I have trouble getting down in the position, but I do need to really sort that out because I don't like rolling the bar towards me. I'm not Thor, I'm not Eddie Hall, I'm not as big as those guys, there's no need to do that. And even with a deficit, I shouldn't really be doing that, to be honest. So in my next workout, I'm going to try not to do that. So this is the final warm-up at 180. So the programme for today was to do 3 sets of 4. So I was hoping maybe 200, 210 and maybe 220. So this is my first set of 4. Notice I'm not using a belt. I would have liked to have done all 3 sets beltless, but after this I just didn't think it was really a good idea. So with this 200, I basically do all 4 reps where I'm rolling the bar towards me. The trouble with doing this though is being able to get that bar in the exact same position every time, which is difficult. Whereas if you just deadlift it without doing that, then the bar's always going to be in the same place. So 200 for 4 was quite comfortable, even without the belt. But now for 210 kilos, I've now added the belt. Unfortunately, this did feel substantially heavier, even though it's just 10 more kilos. A couple of months ago, I did do 230 for 3, but that was just one top set. Whereas with this, I'm doing 3 top sets. And this, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't comfortable either. I would have liked to have gone to 220, but this is just the first week, and I don't want to push the weight too much, because next week I want to come back and do 3 sets of 3. So I just opted to go for 2 12.5 kilos or 468 pounds. Now, if you watch here, you'll notice that for the first 2 reps, I do not roll the bar towards me. I tried to do it like a regular deadlift, and that actually worked better. The only trouble though is that I could not get the bar to touch my legs. So when I deadlifted it like that, I could feel that there was a bit of a space, but it did actually feel easier doing it like this, and that's the way I should have done. So for this 3rd rep, I actually touched the bar to my legs and then lifted it. The only trouble with doing that though is it felt like a stiff leg. So then I went back to rolling the bar for the 4th and final rep. So this is probably the last session where I'm going to do that. The next week, the next time that I do these deficits, I'm going to try and do it regular and just try to improve my flexibility and try and get down there and try to be able to do it like I would a regular deadlift, because that's what is best for me, and that's the way that I lift best. And I found with them first 2 reps, it did actually feel easier. As soon as I took the bar to my legs and let it touch it, it felt like a stiff-legged deadlift, and it felt a lot harder. And then rolling the bar towards me felt harder as well. So I'm going to try and just lift it like I would a regular deadlift. So after that, safety bar, Good Mornings to pins. I like to use pins so I know exactly that I'm going the same depth every single time. 3 sets of 10, so this is the 2nd set at 130 or 287 pound. Felt comfortable. 3rd and final set now, 170 kilos or 375 pounds. I really like these. I try to make a conscious effort to squeeze my glutes, and I try to use these to imagine that I'm locking out a deadlift at the top. So this is my first accumulation block. Think of it as kind of like off-season training, where I'm basically not just building that base, but I'm trying to like fix my weaknesses as well. When you're peaking, you don't really have to worry too much about assistance, but because this is an off-season or accumulation block, there is a lot of assistance here, a lot of volume, a lot of reps, a lot of work is going to be going into this. I'm probably going to do 2 of these 8-week blocks and just really try to hammer in on my weaknesses. So we're doing lat pull downs. This time I'm using a neutral grip so that my palms are facing towards me. So I'm using the D-bar attachment. Loads of different attachments you can use on these. So for this 8-week block, I'll probably be going behind the neck. And then for the 2nd block, probably in front. And then when I peak, I'll probably just do the assisted pull-up machine. With off-season training, it's always best to try and do different types of exercises with higher reps and more volume to build that base. And then when you come to do your peaking block, that's when you want your exercises to be more specific to your goals. So what you're going to find with this particular off-season accumulation block that I'm doing is for 8 weeks there will be no strongman training. Each session will get its own day. So for example, day 1 is just overhead and close grip incline, so working on them shoulders and working on them triceps. So the first day is a pressing day. 2nd day is basically deadlift, and then assistance exercises to try and assist and help the deadlift and then pulling muscles and back muscles. So this is my deadlift and back day. And then the 3rd day is going to be pressing again. And then the fourth day is going to be my leg day, so squats, leg presses, leg curls, calf raises, etc, etc. I think this is actually the first training block I've done with no strongman in it at all. I just want to try and build my strength statically. So you'll notice with these assistance exercises, they're quite light. I'm not really pushing myself on these, but I will be making progress on these. You always want to progress your assistance lifts as well as the main lifts. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Sometimes they'll like progress the main lifts, but then the assistance lifts are normally like a bit of fluff, or they're like junk volume, or they're just an afterthought really. And you always want to. The assistance exercises should have a purpose. There should be a reason for it. So we're moving on. So I've just done the pull downs and the rows. We're now moving on to biceps. Now I've never really done biceps that much, to be honest. I've always ignored biceps. But Shane is a big believer in biceps, and I have started doing them myself now because biceps are good for strongman, especially for tire flip. If you've got strong biceps, you're less likely to injure yourself. So this is a protocol I've not really done before. I'm quite inexperienced when it comes to training biceps. Biceps is not one of my fortes. So this interesting little protocol here, I basically warm up with 8 reps, then I work to a 12 rep max, and that's 29 kilos. Then I drop 5 kilos and try to do another 12 reps. I really would have liked to have done 3 sets of 12 with this same weight, but it just wasn't happening. Now if you look towards the last few reps, you'll notice that my arms start to come off the pad, and I'm having to cheat the remaining reps. There you go, can you see that? It's quite subtle, but there you go, that was not subtle at all. So if you notice, the last 2 reps, my arms come off the pad. So there was no point in trying to do a set again with that same weight, because it wouldn't have happened. So I've dropped the weight to try to do the same again. Unfortunately, I only managed 10 reps. Notice there on the last few reps, again, my arms are coming off the pad. So I might as well have just terminated the set at that point. So now I've dropped the weight again. So I'm now pretty much back to where I started. And again, I only managed 10 reps. I probably could have got 12, but I would have had to have cheated it, and I didn't really want to do that. So if you look here, you can see that on the last 2 reps, my arms again start to come off the pads, which is not really what I want. I've never really done drop sets before with biceps. And I didn't realise it would be so hard. It's kind of interesting because biceps are a small muscle and they do fatigue very quickly. And obviously, where I've never really trained biceps, my biceps do fatigue quite quickly. But it's something I'll get used to. I mean, I'm not too upset about it. It's a small muscle group, so failure is okay with that because biceps, being a small muscle, can recover quickly. So afterwards, barbell wrist curls behind the back. 3 sets of 15, so this is just linear progression really, starting with an empty 20 bar, and now we're on 30. I have done these before, but it's been a while since I've done these. I'm trying to do grip twice a week, so dead hangs and wrist curls on day 2, and then day 4 I'll be doing axle barbell holds behind the back for more grip. Since I'm not doing any strongman training at the moment, there's not going to be any farmers holds. But when I go back to off season, I will start doing strongman again. I haven't signed up for any competitions in 2025, but I will try my best to do a competition at some point this year. I like to do at least one a year. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do one in 2023. I did a competition in 2021 and 2022, missed 2023, and then did a competition last year, 2024, where I got 5th place. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I do really need to build my base and build my strength, because log and deadlift are where I feel I need the most work. So dead hangs now with a pronated grip, not using any chalk. So the plan was to do 3 sets of 25 seconds, body weight 320 pounds. So in old money, just a shade under 23 stone. So this first set was actually quite comfortable. but the rest time was 2 minutes. So I would hang for 25 seconds, rest for 2 minutes, and then go again. So this is set number 2 now. Now, if you've been watching my videos yesterday, I did fail with the strict log, but other than that, it was a good session. Today was a much improved session. I did fail on the biceps, but I'm not too worried about that. That's nothing really. Unfortunately, I did fail on the last set of this as well. So this is the third set. Unfortunately, I only managed 24 seconds. I was literally 1 second away from doing this. The plan was to do 3 sets of 30 seconds next week, but I'm probably just going to stick to doing 3 sets of 25 and just try to finish it next week. So I'll probably do the same again next week and see if I can get 3 sets of 25. This is really hard. Actually, for some reason I just couldn't hold on to the end there. I normally just do 1 top set when it comes to dead hangs, but I'm trying to do more volume on this, being a off season and all. So yeah, trying to do more work on my grip. So yeah, that's the end of the video. So yeah, leg curls were fine. That was a good warm up. Deadlifts, 3 sets of 4. They weren't a failure, but they did feel harder than they should have been. But then I did try to pull nearly 800 pounds on a track bar about a week and a half ago. So I'm probably not as recovered as I thought I was, even though I had nearly a week and a half off from the gym. Looking back, I probably should have done like a light introduction session or something, or a light introduction week before I started this accumulation block. But it's all right. It's not a problem. I mean, next week I'm dropping to 3s. And I do want to go to about RPE 8-9 on there. So as long as I don't go too heavy on the weight too quickly, it should be okay. Good mornings were okay. Pulldowns, rows, yeah, everything was fine. Like I say, I only failed on the bicep and the grip. But again, these are little movements. If you fail on them, it's not really a big deal, to be honest. But obviously, if I fail a deadlift, then obviously that's going to really hurt my recovery, and it's going to hurt the whole training plan. But something like biceps, it's not a biggie really. So yeah, there we are. So end of the video now. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to follow in my training, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next training session will probably be Friday due to my shifts. So watch this space.